If you've ever finished a conversation, walked away, and then spent the next hour, or the next 3 days, replaying every word, every pause, every expression, this video is for you. Maybe you remember exactly how someone said something, the tone they used, the split second of hesitation before they answered, the thing they almost said but didn't. And maybe you've been told to just let it go, that you're overthinking, that you're too sensitive, that normal people don't do this. But here's what psychology actually says. Replaying conversations isn't a flaw in your thinking. It's evidence of something rare, something most people simply aren't capable of. If you replay conversations in your head, not just once but in detail, repeatedly, you likely have these 5 uncommon traits. Stay until the end. Number 5 might surprise you. Trait 1. Your brain processes language at an unusually deep level. Most people hear a conversation and retain the general idea. They walk away with the gist, a rough impression of what was discussed, and that's enough for them. You don't work that way. You remember the specific words someone chose, the exact phrase they used, whether they said, "I think," or "I know," whether they hesitated before saying your name. These details don't slip past you because your brain isn't just hearing language, it's analyzing it. Psychologists call this high verbal processing depth. It's a cognitive trait where the brain encodes spoken language with far more detail and precision than average. Research shows that people with this trait often excel in reading between the lines, catching what someone meant versus what they said, detecting shifts in tone that others completely miss. Trait 2. You have a rare capacity for empathy. When you replay what someone said, you're not just analyzing their words, you're feeling your way back into the moment. You're asking yourself, were they okay? Did I say something that landed wrong? Were they hurting and trying not to show it? That instinct, to go back and check, to care about how someone else experienced an interaction, is not something everyone has. A lot of people genuinely don't think about it, not because they're bad people, but because their brains simply aren't wired to track other people's emotional states that closely. Yours is. Research on empathic accuracy, the ability to correctly read another person's thoughts and feelings, shows that people who replay social interactions tend to score significantly higher on this measure. Trait 3. You're a natural pattern recognizer. When you replay a conversation, you're not just reviewing what happened, you're comparing it to everything that came before. Something felt slightly off. Their energy was different. They responded faster than usual, or slower. And now your brain is doing what it always does. Cross-referencing, pattern matching, trying to understand what shifted and why. This is called social pattern recognition, and it's a sophisticated cognitive skill. Your mind is constantly building internal models of the people in your life, how they typically behave, what their baseline looks like, what deviations from that baseline might signal. Studies in social cognition show that people with strong pattern recognition abilities tend to be exceptionally good at predicting behavior, navigating complex social dynamics, and sensing problems in relationships before they surface openly. You've probably had the experience of knowing something was wrong before anyone said a word. That gut feeling that a friendship was shifting, that a colleague was unhappy, that something in a relationship had changed. That feeling comes from this, from years of quietly collecting data that most people don't even register. Trait 4. You hold yourself to a genuinely high standard. Part of what drives the replay is this. You care about how you show up. You go back over conversations because you want to know if you said the right thing, if you were kind enough, clear enough, honest enough, if you came across the way you intended, if you accidentally hurt someone without meaning to. That level of self-reflection, that genuine investment in being a good person to others, is rarer than most people think. Psychology refers to this as high moral self-awareness. It's the trait that compels people to examine their own behavior not out of insecurity, but out of a sincere desire to do better. Research consistently links it to higher levels of emotional intelligence, stronger relationships, and greater personal growth over time. The shadow side, of course, is that this same trait can tip into self-criticism. The replay that starts as reflection can turn into a loop of, "I should have said it differently," or "Why did I phrase it like that?" But here's the distinction worth holding on to. The fact that you care this much about how your words land on other people, that you go back and check, that you hold yourself accountable, that's not anxiety, that's integrity. Trait 5. You are wired for deep, meaningful connection. This is the one that might surprise you. All of it. The replaying, the analyzing, the emotional weight you carry after conversations. It comes from the same root. You don't do surface level. You are not built for shallow interactions. You want to truly understand people, and you want to be truly understood. When a conversation ends, and something felt unresolved, incomplete, or slightly off, your brain won't let it go because connection matters to you on a fundamental level. You're not chasing reassurance. You're chasing clarity. You want to know that the relationship is real, that the communication was genuine, that you and this person actually understood each other. Research on attachment and social motivation shows that people with a strong drive toward relational depth tend to form fewer but significantly more meaningful relationships. They're the friends people call during the hardest moments of their lives. They're the partners who notice the small things, the colleagues who actually listen. The world has plenty of people who are easy to talk to. What's rare, genuinely rare, are people who make you feel truly heard. You are one of those people, and the very thing that makes you feel like you think too much is exactly what makes the people who know you feel so known. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. And if someone in your life replays conversations and has always been told they overthink, share this with them. They need to hear it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.